Welcome to this week's edition of Fight News Now. I'm your host, John Pollock, and today we are getting you set for UFC 173 coming up in Las Vegas Saturday night. And you will also hear from UFC welterweight champion Johnny Hendricks on the program today. John Ramdeen and Robin Black will be by for another edition of 3 Rounds, and 2 special guests pop by on the ship to play Wolfenstein: The New Order. And it all kicks off with this week's Newsmakers. UFC 173 will be headlined this weekend by bantamweight title action as champion Renan Barao will look to keep his 33-fight unbeaten streak intact as he defends against Team Alpha Male product Dillashaw, who has won 5 of his last 6 to earn the title fight and tries to bring a UFC championship to the Alpha Male crew in Sacramento this weekend.
When UFC 173 was announced, the main event was set to feature Chris Weidman defending his middleweight title for the second time against #1 contender Vitor Belfort. Then the NSAC banned all future TRT exemptions, and after a random test, the Phenom was forced to withdraw. Next in line to face the champ was Lyoto Machida. However, a knee injury sustained by the champion forced the promotion to move that fight to UFC 175. Their third main event proved to be the charm, as TJ Dillashaw, who was set to face Takeya Mizugaki on the card, was bumped up to the main event to face reigning bantamweight champion Renan Barao. While Barao versus Dillashaw may not have the drawing power of a middleweight title bout, it does feature one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
He's without a doubt the #2 pound-for-pound guy in the world. He goes in there, no matter who he faces, he goes in there to finish him, and that's what he does. I love guys that go in and annihilate people, and that's what he does.
The Brazilian's combination of devastating unorthodox striking,
spinning back kick to the body, flying knee,
and a slick submission game have made him virtually unbeatable at 135 pounds. With such a dominant champion, the list of contenders at bantamweight has dwindled, leaving the UFC with few options to match up against Barao. And with #2 ranked Rafael Assunção sidelined with an injury, Dillashaw was the only choice.
The performances I've been putting on, my last performance against Easton just kind of showed everyone that I can hang with him. At least I know I can.
The Team Alpha Male member is on a 5-1 run, and his only loss over the span came in controversial fashion against Assunção in Brazil. In his wins, the 28-year-old has looked spectacular, with a solid grappling game and an improving stand-up skill set guided by Team Alpha Male head coach Dwayne Bang Ludwig. Few are giving Dillashaw a legitimate chance against the champion, but don't forget, anything can happen in MMA.
Second from the top at UFC 173, we'll pit 2 of the best wrestlers to ever enter the sport in 2004 and 2008 Olympian Daniel Cormier taking on an Olympian from the 92 and 96 games in Dan Henderson. Hendo returns to the cage a mere 9 weeks since his stoppage win over Mauricio Shogun Rua back in March, while Cormier is looking to punch his ticket Saturday to a guaranteed light heavyweight title fight down the road.
In the co-main event on Saturday, we'll see 2 Olympic-level wrestlers tangle as Daniel Cormier, in his second fight at light heavyweight, takes on MMA legend Dan Henderson. For most of his career, Cormier has battled much larger men, going undefeated, taking out heavyweight standouts Bigfoot Silva, Frank Mir, and Roy Nelson. With teammate and primary sparring partner Cain Velasquez holding the heavyweight strap, the Olympic team captain dropped to light heavyweight and feels he is a better fit for the smaller weight class.
I couldn't really fight the way I wanted to at heavyweight because the size was so different. Whereas if you watch Cain fight, he can just get in their face as long as he wants. I think I'll be able to do that against 205-pound guys.
Having been ranked in the top 3 at heavyweight and now holding the #4 rank at light heavyweight, Cormier has chosen to stay busy on his way to a title shot.
I want to fight because I don't want to sit on the shelf. I went through 18 months with 1 fight after I fought Bigfoot and broke my hand. So I don't want to be an actor.
Standing opposite the AKA standout will be Dan Henderson. After the first 3-fight losing streak of his career, and looking all of his 43 years of age for 2 rounds against Shogun.
Oh, huge uppercut lands flush for Shogun.
Henderson and his big right hand finally woke up.
Oh, huge right hand for Hendo.
That single punch put Hendo back on track to win the only title that has eluded him so far in MMA. Will Cormier stay undefeated and punch his ticket to a title fight with the champ? Or will Henderson H-bomb his way to a showdown with Jones?
There was plenty of debate from Saturday's main event of Bellator 120, where Quinton Jackson defeated Muhammad King Mo Lawal by unanimous decision. Most believed that Lawal had won rounds 1 and 3 and made for a more entertaining post-fight press conference than the actual fight provided, with a rematch being teased from both parties after Saturday's less than conclusive finish.
Rampage came to me and said he want a rematch. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what he want, he said before before the judges say anything, he said he want a rematch. You know, so y'all know what that means. You know what I'm saying?
The only reason why I said I want a rematch because I wanted to knock you out.
Man, but you didn't come close. You lost.
Because you wanted to wrestle, you wanted to hump. I wanted to fight.
It don't matter.
That's the only reason why I said I want a rematch, not saying anything else.
Hey, last my check is MMA. If you want to go bang, go box. Get knocked out.
I want to box.
Kickbox,
Yeah, I want to box.
Get knocked out. You saw Pat Barry? You know what I'm saying?
That's Pat Barry. That ain't me.
It's you too.
It ain't me.
You go to Glory and see what happens. Fight Tyrone.
I'll fight anybody.
He'll knock your ass out.
Nah, I don't think so. You couldn't do it. Look at your eye. Look at you, man.
But I beat you.
Look at your face.
Hey,
look in the mirror before you start talking about somebody gonna get knocked out. You was on Chris when you was like, it's like, oh.
I wasn't on Chris.
Yeah.
You was almost out.
You was almost out. I took your best punch. I kept going.
You got taken down though, dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're a wrestler. You showed that you're a better wrestler than me.
You got beat.
Hey, you didn't take me down every time you tried.
I'm done talking now. I beat you though.
Thank you. You didn't beat nothing.
We want a rematch, man. It was a close fight.
You wasn't sleeping. I want a rematch because you wasn't sleeping. That's the only reason.
You're a stand-up.
Whatever, man.
You know you lost that fight.
Whatever, man. Hey, don't be a sore loser. Go look at your face. Go put some steak on your face, homie.
The win by Jackson gives Rampage an opportunity to fight for the light heavyweight title, but doesn't seem too interested in fighting Emmanuel Newton. Mo, on the other hand, was convinced he won the fight and didn't feel guilty at all about using his wrestling to take Jackson down rather than standing to strike with Rampage, and he spoke about his feelings on the fight to the press afterwards.
Be real, you know I won the fight. Everybody knows, we all know who won the fight. And Memphis, man, as soon as they announced that, the fight was over with, the crowd started leaving. You saw the crowd empty out. They started booing. Rampage came to me, asked for a rematch. Let's do it again. Who wins a fight and then it goes and asks for a rematch? Unless you know you lost. Come on, let's be real, man. Big Owen knows I won that fight, man. He's talking that bullshit, talking about, oh man, just the way it just motherfucker, no, you didn't. Let's keep it real.
It has just been over 2 months since the UFC's welterweight division found a new king in Johnny Hendricks, who took the vacant title at UFC 171 in a great bout with Robbie Lawler. Hendricks' main opponent now is his own body as he works back to full health from a torn biceps muscle, and recently spoke with Fight Network about the pressures that come when one is all of a sudden the hunted rather than the hunter.
I like the pressure. I like that everybody wants to fight me. You know, some people deserving, some people aren't. You know what I mean? And the people that are, you know, whenever I get healthy, they'll get a shot. You know, but that's what I like to do. You know, I like to compete. I like to compete against the best. And I definitely have gotten that the last couple of years. You know, pressure, everybody's got pressure in life. You know what I mean? I've been at the top, you know, wrestling for 3 years. You know what I mean? I was at the top of that. Then I was on the top, you know, now I'm on the top of fighting. So I've been at the top. You know, high school I was at the top. Enjoy the ride. Who cares? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be able to do this forever. Enjoy while I have it. And then the only difference that I think I wanna do than the other guys is I wanna see if I can, you know, venture out. I mean, go up weight class. You know, see if I can do any good at 185. I don't know. You know what I mean? Those are things that, you know, you always gotta challenge yourself and you always gotta try hurdles. But I got to get through the 170 class. You know, we got a really tough weight division, so can't lose focus of that.
Saturday's Bellator card provided a reason for many to sound off on the judging in the sport between the Jackson-Lawal decision, as well as 2 judges scoring the 5th round between Michael Chandler and Will Brooks for Brooks. We recently caught up with DeMarcus Johnson, who shared his thoughts on the judging criteria from the perspective of a fighter trying to understand what they are looking for.
The officiating and the judging are done by people who haven't competed, they may have had a boxing match or they may have had a wrestling match or a high school, whatever. But you don't have people who have been in there in that exact situation under those exact same circumstances telling people what's what, and it's just not going to work until you start to see guys, and it's starting to happen with the UFC. They got Ricardo Almeida kind of slowly trickling in, and I think that should be a part of the judging criteria is you have to have X amount of fights, whether they're amateur, whether they're pro, no matter what. You need that real life experience to truly understand. The commissions are the ones that are employing the inept referees that have no experience other than, hey, I've ref boxing matches, hey, who gives a shit? It's you don't do what I do, so how are you going to tell me how to do it better?
And I'm here with John Ramdeen. UFC 173 is coming up this Saturday night, a return to pay-per-view. I imagine you and Robin Black will be diving into this card. What sticks out for you?
Oh, of course, it's the main event. Renan Barao, one of the pound-for-pound best fighters on the planet. But the UFC has a ton of product before the end of the month. Will Renan Barao entertain over the other ones? We'll let you know.
They only have about 18 more cards till the end of May, so they're going to go through all of those cards coming up on today's 3 rounds with Robin Black as Fight News Now continues. Welcome back to Fight News Now. It's John Pollock with you, and joining us now for another edition of 3 rounds, it's John Ramdeen and Robin Black. And this Saturday, guys, the bantamweight title is going to be defended, which means for the next couple of days, Renan Barao's name will be butchered all over the place.
It's unfortunate. Renan Barao, one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the sport, and people just, they either are not getting behind this guy or they just simply don't understand how talented and how skilled of a fighter he is. Instead, they'd rather watch Matt Brown. I understand Matt Brown comes to fight. When you look at a fighter as skilled and with the ability of Renan Barao, why aren't people behind him?
First of all, I don't know why you and Pollock are butchering Renan Barao's name. That's crazy, it's rude. No, Renan Barao, one of the greats. There's been a lot of talk. We talked about him on Monday. The guy is one of, if not the best pound for pound. There's an argument between him and John Jones, and yet not a lot of people in North America pay attention, and even our friends in Brazil have been telling us he's not that big down there. Why is that? Who the hell knows? Well, none of us are going to figure that answer out.
Well, isn't Jose Aldo putting his hand up saying, wait a second, I beat Uriah Faber, I beat Frankie Edgar, how come I'm not the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world? I guess it's my teammate.
Okay, well, also, if we're going to put that on the table, both of these guys are a little bit under-celebrated. Why is that? What do they have in common? Well, they both, don't speak the Queen's English and throw out all kinds of things. They thank their team.
Anderson Silva didn't either, but he was a superstar. Why is that?
That's true. Anderson Silva was magical in the cage, but then again, these guys are magical. Yeah, you know what? We're never going to figure this one out. So what are we watching for? Well, you go in and you watch one of the great fighters in the world perform at the highest level. Watch this guy create artistry in the cage. That's what we see from John Jones. That's what we're seeing from Barao as well. Who's going to beat him and how are they going to beat him? If you're interested in watching the greats, eventually all the greats lose. How is this guy going to lose? Is TJ Dillashaw the guy to do it? One of two things is going to happen. Somebody's going to be incredibly patient and hope and pray and gamble and wait for the great moment. If you can't create the great moment, hope that it happens, take advantage of it and win the fight, or you're going to come out super aggressive and try to get them moving back. You're going to have a great start. Is TJ Dillashaw going to do one of those things? It's possible. Don't just imagine that no matter what, Barao's going to be doing his cool dance afterwards. This can happen.
The thing about Renan Barao, though, is he's faced the best fighters in his division, save for Dominic Cruz because he's been out, where TJ Dillashaw simply has not. Yes, he fought a Sun Tzu, but he lost a split decision against a Sun Tzu. And you look at the competition that he's faced, nowhere near the type or quality of fighters that the Brazilian has faced over his career. But will the main event of UFC 173 deliver the type of entertainment that we've come to expect, say, from a Matt Brown or a ruthless Robbie Lawler, who was also on 173's card, taking on Jake Ellenberger? We have Dan Cormier taking on Dan Henderson. I don't think that these guys are going to entertain. I think that, of course, Daniel Cormier, he moves forward. He does what he has to win this fight. Dan Henderson obviously can land that big right hand, but I think it's going to be reminiscent of the fight with Dan Henderson and Rashad Evans. People they get excited because it's 2 big names, but I don't know if fans are going to walk away saying, man, we need to see another fight between Henderson and Cormier.
Yeah, it doesn't, on paper, it doesn't necessarily line up like a barn burner. Both guys have good wrestling. With Henderson, you know what you're going to get, and that's sometimes his problem, is that the opponent knows what he's going to get too. But then again, everybody always knows that he's going to throw the right hand, and a lot of the time he lands it and knocks you out cold. But if you're Cormier, you've got to send a message. You've got to make a big statement. This will be, if you can win this, the biggest win of your career. Sure. You got to do it in style, but you also got to get it done.
Ruthless Robbie Lawler has a style that definitely excites the fans. You look, all you have to do is just look over his career. But Jake Ellenberger, another one of those guys, he can knock your block off. But we've seen in the past that, you know, if he gets tested in the later stages of the fight, you see him backing away. He doesn't like to get into firefights. I mean, I'm not Jake Ellenberger, so you can only imagine that he's trying to work on those things, trying to improve, trying to make sure that his mental state is ready to go, because Robbie Lawler is one of these guys that is unbreakable, and you are going to have to break him physically if you're going to get the W.
If we're talking about what are going to be the fights that excite people, this one's going to do it. It's impossible that it doesn't, because if Ellenberger is tentative like he was against Rory, which he will not be, there's no way he's going to be. He knows what he has to do in this one, and he is a juggernaut. He's going to come forward. But even if he didn't, that would play right into Lawler's hands, and Lawler would feast on him. They're going to meet in the middle. This one's going to be, of the 5 biggest fights we have coming up, 3 of which are on this show, this one's going to be the crazy barn burner.
2 shows in one night. May 31st, we start in Germany. The main event of Fight Night, Gegard Mousasi taking on Mark Munoz. And Mousasi, one of these underrated fighters. Talk to any hardcore fans. They understand that he's very, very talented. He's skilled in the stand-up department as well as the submission game. The problem in the past has been his wrestling game. Will Mark Munoz decide to stand and trade with him and try to light him up, or play the safe game, do what King Mo did, put him on his back and keep him there for 5 rounds?
Yeah, Ellenberger Lawler is the big one that people are going to go crazy. You're going to be foaming at the mouth and your beer's going to spill and stuff. But this is the one I'm most interested in. Mousasi is a super talent who hasn't ever really had that dynamic performance that is mind-blowing. He's had some great performances, but this guy is at an elite level. Munoz, I think you nailed it. Munoz has a clear-cut path to beat this guy. Of all of his strengths, wrestling has been the one that he's had to develop over the last half-decade. Has he developed it enough? I don't know, man. Munoz against Boach, remember how nasty that guy looked, how amazing, how powerful, how crushing he looked? If he does that to Mousasi, that's going to be tough, but Mousasi's got good footwork. He understands the challenge. He's going to play from the outside. This is a really cool matchup. People always, you know, that of all the bullshit of things that people say, styles make fights, that one's true. It's just been said 7 million times, but this one really is cut and dry.
Yeah, you talk about styles making fights. On that same night, Fight Night goes down in Brazil in the main event. Stipe Miocic taking on Fabio Maldonado, and I have to say, for the casual fans, this will be fight of the night. I don't think either guy is thinking takedown. They're going to stand up and smash each other in the face for 5 rounds. However, I do not think it's going 5 rounds.
Oh yeah, these guys are both boxing-based fighters. Miocic has that option to try to wrestle, and he's bigger. But did we learn anything from Tito the other weekend? When you step up a weight class to fight a big, powerful guy, the big, powerful guy's often going to win. There are weight classes for a reason, but this will be a lot of fun.
Pollock, I love Renan Barao. I love Ruthless Robbie Lawler, but come on, Maldonado versus Stipe Miocic. Somebody's getting knocked out, right?
There you go, Fight Pass. It's about the only thing you can pick from that tough Brazil card, which is falling apart by the day. Thank you very much, guys, and they will have a complete wrap-up of UFC 173 this Monday night at 7 Eastern on 5 rounds. Don't go anywhere, because the show continues on the other side with The Shift examining Wolfenstein, The New Order, and we've got another viral video all coming up as the show rolls on.
Hey guys, Robin Black here for The Shift, and today we're going to dig a little deeper into Wolfenstein, The New Order. UFC welterweight Sean Pierson and Ultimate Fighter Nations winner Elias Theodorou are going to join me in a few seconds to test this baby out, so let's get it on!
Sean, you're the good guy. Let's actually try to accomplish something on this level.
Well, now they're all scared. You brought the big guns out and they're all, what's up? Dead nuts. Oh. That ruined everyone's day.
Maybe it was just beginner's luck, but our pal Sean really got on a roll with the death count. Sean is seriously racking up points in the Nazi killing department. But man, we weren't expecting this.
Oh, shit. I have to start off with 9 bullets. With a 0. 9 bullets. 9 bullets on one side, 7 on the other.
Let's see if Sean can actually pull off a successful, stealthy kill.
Takedown. Just takedown. That's stealth. That's stealth. Stealth. Oh, Nazi dog. Your one weakness, Nazi dogs. Your one weakness.
Now let's switch it up and see how Elias fares as a resistance fighter.
Are you gonna be stealthy too? I don't think you're gonna be stealthy. No, you made noise. Idiot. You're the worst stealth ever. There was a knife there.
Like a good corner man, I tried to give him some good advice.
You gotta stop switching the knives in the middle of a gunfight, man. Seriously. Axe down on knives. They're called knives. Stab that guy.
Oh! Nazi dog! He just came out of nowhere.
Riding high off his last kill, Elias took a rather untactical approach.
Sit here, just be sure. Take your shirt off, sit here like pretty, because you're not good at this stuff, okay?
We've tallied up the kill count, and Elias Theodorou comes in with a sturdy 7 kills, while Sean Pierson took it to the Third Reich, eliminating 36 Nazi clowns.
Coming up this Sunday on Fight Network, we're going to be presenting live kickboxing action from Infusion, and then on Monday night, former WWE announcer Jim Ross will be calling the action for Golden Boy Boxing from El Paso, Texas, and we're going to have that card for you Monday evening. As time winds down, we haven't forgot about the big draw on this show, and that is our weekly viral video where we find the most bizarre event of the week caught on camera and present it to you.
У вас второго шанса не будет. Наблюдаем внимательно.
And that will bring Fight News Now to a close for another week. I want to thank our guest Johnny Hendricks as well as DeMarcus Johnson. I'll be back with the MMA Report on Thursday, joined by Mauro Ranallo up at FightNetwork.com in the podcast section. And for John Ramdeen, Robin Black, and our crew here at Fight Network, my name is John Pollock, and enjoy the fights coming up this weekend.